channel, Coding at Home. My name is Matthew Lonsdale and we are in series 2 of the survival fucking template. It's mint, right? So if you haven't seen the other episodes, go back and watch them. The system that I've put together here is absolutely brilliant. It's completely dynamic. You can just download the pack off the Patreon store if you want it now. If you're following along, go back and watch the series 1 where we put together the inventory component. We're using a component to run everybody's inventory, so any NPCs, crafting tables, storage boxes, all running off one component. You just drag that or add that in the actor and it is just working. You just select which inventory you need and it is all good to go. So for everyone that's continuing to follow on, we'll jump straight back into it and we will get these widgets finished. Okay, so what do we have? We have to get some of these done, don't we? So the craft options, that needs doing. The drag over and the craft slot, that's pretty much done. All I can remember is you need to auto wrap that because some names are longer than the box. Craft slot, let me look on my one. Craft item something, isn't it? Yes. Where are you? It's not in there. Craft recipe, so I've called it different. Yeah, all that has is the icon and the name. Event graph. This is what we finished off, wasn't it? So we finished this off in the last episode. Yes, we did. So that is done. Inventory widget, these need doing, so let's leave that open. Master structure is done. Pickups done. Players done, I do believe. So is there anything else that needs doing? With inventory crafting options, the dragged over, yes, we have already clicked that. So here we go. So let's do the craft options, because this one is a little bit ooh-doo-doo. Right, so let's start with the event graph. Anything in here? No. So there is nothing on event construct. There is on pre-construct. And pre-construct is setting them, so let's do the designer because obviously we don't have any variables yet. So crafting panel, canvas panel, we're going to need that, and my nose is blocking up again. I don't know what's wrong with me, so it's either itchy or blocked. I'm fucking sick of my life, honestly. Right, so we need a border. This border has got a size box. Size box is the border is size to content, that's the one. Size box, I have made it just little 5x2, so override here, so width 500, height 200, border color, you can do this whatever you want, something dark, like that. And in here we have a vertical box which is going to hold everything, and then in the vertical box we have basically 2 horizontal boxes and a button. So horizontal box and button, which is up the top. Okay, so this button has text. This text says cancel. That is not how you spell cancel, and that is not where I want to type it. It is A. Okay, cancel. You want to rename the button to button cancel, so you know which one it is, and that's already a variable by default. So we have got in this horizontal box, okay, we have a button, then we have an editable text box, which is fucking where input, editable text box, then we have another button, and then in each button we have text like this, and then the horizontal box needs to be set to fill, or yes, set it to fill, because we haven't populated the other box yet, which we are going to put a button in, and this needs to be set to fill, and the button needs to be set to fill, and you will also need text in that button, and this text can say craft, and this button can be button craft, sorry, misclicked, so button craft, and then this button, let's do the text and just put a more than sign, and this button can be button add 1, this button is -1, and the text for this can just be a less than sign, and the editable text box can also be set to fill, and let's make sure the buttons are set to fill here, and the -1 is set to fill, and then if you want it to look a little bit nicer, you can just add a load of padding, which is all I've done on mine. So if you take the buttons here and the editable text box and just give them all a padding of 10, look something like that. The text in here, put 1 is default, center it this way, and this auto, no auto fill, now fill it. I want it to be centered. I'm getting a phone call. Yeah, it can fuck off. Let's see, what can we do here? Is it, we want it looking a bit better than that. Let's go font, and whoa, that is not what I want. Yes it is, 20. Why? Appearance, why? Come on, what are you doing? So is this not the font? Text, font, is there 2 different types? Color, background, image. I mean, you can mess around with this. I'm just trying to make it look like I did on mine. They are persistent. So what have I done here? Editable text box, editable text, editable text box. Right, so, oops, fucking hell. We want an editable text box, which it will change to. Editable text, can you replace this? I don't think this fucking matters, to be honest. I am totally over fucking thinking this. Right, leave it as it is. You know what I mean? All you need to do is, you can, as long as it's got on text change and editable, right, that's fine. Right, yous can fuck on with that. I would have just thought I could change the font size of this quite easily. Clearly not. Alright, when you compile it does do it. Right, fine. Done. Moving on. That's done. Button craft. That's done. Button cancel. You could probably put some padding on these. Which is... Right, let's do one at a time then. Give this 20. No, too much. 10. This button 10. Something like that. Okay, that looks good enough. That'll be fine. Let's work with this. So, pre-construct. You want the editable text to, let's have a look. set text to your amount. Okay, which will be, it'll stay like that, but don't worry, it is going to be setting properly. The tick we don't want. Now here we go. So button add one, right, on clicked. We need to get the amount plus one. Now you can't use an increment here. You need to use the old school way. Plus one, is that more than the max craft amount? So this is obviously a check, so you can't craft too many. So you don't want cheating. So you want a if true. Now you can increment it with a double. If that is false, run into that, and then you can set text, editable text to this one, and then connect that up, and that looks good. Okay, next one, button -1 on clicked. Go on, then we'll try and copy and paste what needs to change. Well, this does, so you need to go to minus integer, and then just take that away, because if that -1 is equal to 0, do nothing. If it isn't, you want to decrement set text like so. So that's the add and minus. Now then, this is where it got a little bit technical. So on text committed, you want to come off of here and you want to switch on enum. Okay, now get the text, now go to string. Okay, and now you can ask the string, is it numerical, which means is it a number, so you can't write bollocks into it, so you can only put numbers in. If that is true, on enter, okay, you will then or if that's false, just set amount. Make sure you set the amount to 0. Okay, because they've been fucking on with it. So we're going to set that to 0. Now we are going to go to int, string to int here, and then we're going to say, is it more than the max craft amount? Okay, if it is more than the max craft amount, you want to set the amount to you want to set the amount to the max craft amount, and then if it's false, you just set the amount to the asked for number, I suppose, like so. And then if they lose focus or click off, what I want to do is basically get the amount or we want to get the editable text, and we want to set text to this one, which is what it was, and then we can do that on focus. In fact, just set that to 1. Okay, so that's that part. Now then, on text change, you want to same again, toString, and then from toString is numerical. If it is true, just don't do anything, let them carry on typing. And then if it's false, just set the editable text, set text. Elon Musk's talking about Dogecoin again. Set text, sorry, distraction, to nothing. Okay, now on button cancelled, just want to remove from parent, and on button craft we want to get the amount -1. Yes, -1, because we're going to do it in a for loop, and we're adding 0, so you need to drop the whole thing up 1 like that. Okay, so we're not actually giving them 1 less item. If you didn't, you would be giving them 1 more if you didn't put that -1 in there. And this then becomes the last integer. And then we are going to get the crafting component and call craft item, like so. And the craft item to craft is this item. And then on complete, just remove the parent again. You can probably put that off of here if they lose focus or unclear. You can maybe cancel it there. It's up to you. See how it feels. See how the workflow goes. But that is all done. So we can now go to our on hovered over. Let's see what's left in there to do. Let's have a look. On hovered over craft item. So this is what mine looks like. I'll drag it over. So it looks like that. Okay. So basically, let's go to designer. So we've got a border here. So let's wrap that with a size box. So the size box is width overrided only to 500, right? And the reason we're only going to override the width is because we are going to basically get rid of these ones. Yes, right. Delete that. Compile, and now I can do what I want. So you see how it gets smaller. You need to, sorry, I'm getting text messages and phone calls all over. So you need to leave the name there, and now you want to duplicate and put this on the left hand side. And what have I got? I have got, actually, is that a horizontal box? So I've got this here. This is not a variable. It is purely a text box called requires, something like that. And then you can make this a little bit bigger. You can make that bold if you want, and do whatever you want. Okay, compile. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a horizontal box in here. We're going to name this horizontal box to requirement1, and this is going to be a variable. And then inside this box we're going to have 2 text boxes. So we're going to have 2 text, right? So a text here and then another text in here. So we're going to put this one over on the right hand side. You will need to put this to fill. This text is going to be the item name, and this text is going to be the item item amount, and you will actually need to name this R1, and this needs to be a variable as well, R1. Okay, so now we can duplicate and rename, and we will need to rename these as well. Okay, I'm just going to get on with it. It's nothing to explain here. This is donkey work, where it's boring, fucking repetitive. I hate repetitive coding. That's why I made this system, so I don't have to code something for every item. But all I'm doing is I'm just changing the numbers here, and then I'm duplicating it, and again change to number 4. Last one. Five. Okay, compile, save. Right, good, graph. Now, good stuff. So, this is like spaghetti junction as well. So, let's see how we get on, and I might change as we go. So, first of all, this is on a event construct. Phone call, I will just ignore that for a second. So, we want to break this here, and we'll do the easy one first. Name. Where's the fucking icon? Am I being blind, or is there no icon here? Oh no, there's no icon. Right, well, you can put an icon in this top left hand corner if you wanted to. Some people would. You can do that on your own. You don't need me to do that. You would basically just set it here, from here. No hardship. So this is going to be set text, and the text is going to be the name, which you can't do into that, so you're going to have to go from here to string, enum to string, in here. Now then, so we have got a macro in here, but this looks like this could have been inside of that. Yeah, so this requirement macro is get amount, do that. Right, so basically what we're doing is we're getting requirement 1, for example. We're doing is it equals to none, and then we are branching. If this is equals to none, then we want to get the requirement 1 box, and we want to set the visibility to collapsed. Okay, that's what we're going to do if it's not valid. If it is valid, we are, because it's in a macro, it's a little bit harder for me to read, but we are basically setting the name of that target. Right, so we're basically getting R1 name, and we are setting the text to this text. Okay, to string, and that's going to format to that, right? So we're going to set the first part. Then we're going to get amount of items by enum in the crafting component. That's why these need to be in here. So then we're going to get amount of enum. So we're going to get the total amount in our entire inventory, also of this name, and the inventory slots to search are of course going to be its own inventory slots. And then we are asking, is the amount more than or equals then the required amount. Okay, if that is true, then you want to set the, I'm assuming that's required amount, current amount 1, item amount 1, item amount 2. I've named it current amount, but well, where are you getting the current amount from? Hang on, I might have just named something badly. Yes, that's named badly, that's fine. So this is going to be the current amount, this is the amount of the requirement. So item amount requirements, you're going to set text, and this you want to, sorry, I am not setting that, I'm setting the color. So set color and opacity. Set color, is there two there? No, shadow. Okay, make a slate, and if you have more than, set it to green. Not red, not blue, green. And then of course if this is false, let's put that under one variable, set it to red, like that. And of course you want to also, off of this, set text. Sorry, I know I'm going slow, it's because of the way I've done it. So you want to set the text, and you want to format this text, and you need the current slash, so you, hang on, I'll move that so you can see what I'm doing here, and the required, and you need to put that in the squiggly curly bracket. And that will give you this, so you can then put in your current amount, which is what you have, and the required amount, which is coming off of this variable here, into the required, and then you would output. So can we put all that into a macro? Surely, surely, surely we can. So if we pulled out requirement 1, trying to make this look good, so if you pulled that out and that, because you need to change them, that would stay the same, and if you pulled that out, so they would be the three variables that change, and then you could have put all that like so, collapsed to a macro, that's fine, because all three of them are the same. So if you put a reroute node here, plug him in, or disconnect that and plug him in there, disconnect him, plug him into there, them two would be different, but 3 and 4 are not required. The input of this can be off of 1 enum. The execution you will keep, and the amount you will need. Okay, So something like that. Just use the pins that you need. So the first one, or the widget, okay, that is your horizontal box. So that's going to be requirement box. Okay, the second one is the hang on, so if I look on here, that will work out nicely. Will be the text. So that is at the name. Okay, so we've got name here, name text, and this one is the item amount text, and this one is obviously the amount required. Okay, I know that's a little bit of a fuck on, but don't forget to connect your output. When we come out of here and refresh this, and it's going to look really nice. So we're going to pop them down in there, delete that, reroute, pop that into there, and you could probably put this down one, compile it, save, come out. That's going to look real smart, and it was definitely worth it, because now we can just rename this macro to set requirement box info, and now you can copy, and you can just basically put or I'll tell you what, if you disconnect that, copy the variables as well, and then you can go this one, R2 name, and requirement 2, change that easily, drag off your inputs, and that is nice and quick. Do the next one, requirement 3, and the amount, and you want requirement 3, name 3, and item amount 3, and then you can come down here, and then another one, number 4, item amount, number 4 name, and requirement number 4, and of course the information from here, and one more, so requirement in, and number 5 requirement, number 5 name, and number 5 amount. And that should do everything in there, so you don't have to change the visibility or fucking anything. That's mint. So yes, it's a little bit fiddly, but it works. If you want, I will just hover back over this. So you need inputs, so you need the requirement box, okay, set the visibility, you need the name text, is the text of obviously the item type, to string to text, and the item amount is coming all the way down here. I'll put some reroute nodes in so you can see, like that, reroute, and that's doing the color and the text. Okay, so I'll just spread everything out a little bit. Okay, yeah, got that sound. So that is done. So all we're now left with is the inventory widget. So in here I have got the update the craft and update the widget. Now all the variables and all the information and all the functions have been done. And the widgets, we can now move forward with this. So update or generate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one to here and this one here, so it's the same, so I'm not getting confused. So we've got a for each loop. This is what we do in generate. So generate for each loop, and we are for each one we're crafting craft a widget or create a widget, and this is the craft slot, craft recipe. I have exposed the inventory component. That looks like it doesn't need to be. You only need the crafting. So what we'll do is we'll change that, and we don't need let me look here. Let me double check. Let me double fucking check this. I will be 30 seconds. So yes, okay then. Right. No, that makes sense. Yes, you don't want to be changing them. They do not need to be exposed at all, because they are getting set in a different way. So you can unexpose the inventory and the craftable item. That is correct. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay. So when this is let me jump back over here, get back on my inventory. So that is all you need. Let's do a reroute, and then what you want to do with this is your crafting slots, which is the wrap box. You want to add the child to wrap box. This is the content, and connect that up. The crafting slots is here, and you want to add this value to there. Is this not the right value? No. So your crafting slot needs to be a crafting slot. I don't think we had the widget made at that point, did we? So you can delete that, compile, and try again here. Fuck. There you go. Add. And this is obviously this value, not this value. So that goes like that, that goes in there like that, that comes down here like that, that goes up there like that. Right, now remember, you want to clear this. Good practice. And I think you need to in this case anyway. So clear it, reroute here and here. Like that. That is done. Now for the update. Again, a for each loop, and then you want to craft slots. You want to get a copy. No, you don't. Yes, you do. That down into there, and you also want to check is valid off of here as well, because you might get a little silly error here because this is not ready. And then if it is valid, call up update, and it is the normal update, and then you are updating the craft info from the array element like this, and the inventory is coming under and then into here. Okay, like that. And that is everything done, I do believe. Okay, so there's only one way to test out, and that is to play it. So let's do a save all, and hopefully make sure, actually we need another inventory, so let's duplicate our inventory, and we'll just call this crafting table. Oh, I spelled that wrong, doesn't matter. So we need a second one of these, and what we'll do is we'll just move this over here. Up top, bigger one, compile, save, close. Now this is a crafting. This is a crafting. I know, can you not see? Let me move this. So I will start that again. So now you can go blueprints, drag out a structure, bring that up, and then we can just set all our settings. So amount of slots, you will need to tick limited slots. We'll give it 10. You need to add an inventory. The inventory you want to use is the crafting table inventory. The slot type is of crafting. The crafting recipes. So let's make something we can make. One of these. The name is going to be a fucking stone axe, and you want it to be crafting table. Requirements is going to be 15 apples and 3 watermelon, and that should be enough to test. Default is crafting. I feel like I'm missing the add inventory. I think what we're going to do is, if you open this back up, add crafting, see, look, that has not been exposed. That needs to be exposed, and I think you want to put that and the add inventory, set that to default. So them two are defaulted. I'd put that one as defaulted as well. The name is default. There, up there. Amount of slots, reorganize that so that's underneath. The inventory class to use, the slot type. Yes, leave that there. Actually, we'll make another category, set of items. Let's call this loot, and put that into loot as well, and put them in that order. Right, okay, set. That's better. So now we can see one more promise. I just want to put that in the right order so it looks good for yous. Where was it? Oh no, that isn't the right order on there. Might just need to be deleted and respawned. Anyway, so we're adding inventory, add crafting, not random loot, and we are a crafting table. Amount of slots 10, use limited. This widget, slot types crafting. This is the item we are using. We could do as many as we want in here. Add another one. Some bricks. So apple, crafting, and we're going to need apples. Let's do 35 apples. Medkits we'll need 1 of, because don't remember, I haven't put any items in here. And we'll need 1 watermelon as well, just to show you some dynamics. That's not a word. And then an easy one. We'll trade an apple for 5 apples, and then none. So that's just a 1 itemed deal. That one. Okay, so that's all set up. And let's see. That doesn't look good. So I've hit play. I have hit play. Yes, there you go. It probably just had to compile a lot of information. So let's start off with inventory. Right, I have forgotten to tab over. So there's one thing. This will be the same, but that is working. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's make sure we can tab over. There's always something you forget when you do these, like, so inventory, designer. Have I even named these fucking buttons? No. Yes, I have. So why didn't you do that? Right, so button, craft tab, unclicked. You want to get your widget switcher. And then you just basically, I think it's something like set widget, or is it set user focus? No. What the fuck's it called? Hang on. Widget. Set active widget, right. Set active widget, and for the crafting tab, set the crafting box, and then of course for the inventory tab, unclicked, duplicate this and set the the inventory box. Hit save, hit play, load it straight in. Crafting, obviously I haven't done it on that one because this is copied and pasted, so that is loaded up. The reason that looks like that is because we haven't set our own crafting inventory, and I don't think we've called generate the slots. So first of all, we will go to our crafting table and move that over here, go to our widget and copy and paste these two into here, so we can do that. And let's go to our BP player, which is Idiot Blueprint, PC player, crafting. Now then, let's give ourselves some recipes. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Okay, and another one. If I find a dynamic way to do this, I will, but I think this is the best you can really get. So we'll have an icon. Obviously you'll have all the right stuff and millions of items to choose from. So apple and watermelon 2. That'll do. Compile, so we can only craft 2 items, but like you said, you can delete. You'll be able to populate that right up in your game. So what was not called? Something was not called. So on initiate, yes. So that is doing it. Yes, let's just try that now. Crafting. So they are there. So we've got a couple of issues. We are not hiding the set visibility. So that's not correct. And we have still got our display items. So we need to clear them. So they're not getting cleared. And this needs to be set to fill, which I'll show you how to do that. So let's see, widget, designer, inventory slots, not that one. Yes, it is. It's one of these. You need to set to fill like that. So it's the widget switcher needs to be set to fill, so you don't have any problems. Whoops, there. And what else was it? The craft slot is not what was it he dragged over. So the dragged over amount, that was going through, but we were not setting them, which was set visibility to collapsed. If it's equals to none, set to collapsed. So requirement 1, yes, requirement box, requirement 1 is the full box, requirement 2, requirement 3. Let's just see, that is all correct, so I don't see the problem there. No, I can't see any mistakes. Yes, I do. So you need to output after this event. That's why that's not running. So you will need to do this on, which has done it on all of them. Oh yes, because that's done properly. Yes, so just connect that up. That'll solve that problem. So there's one of them ticked off the list. So we should have, yes, the correct thing going on here. So we have not cleared them. So the generated slots, which will be, let's see, the player update. Let's see on my one what is going on there. So yes, the updates is there. The construction, where is the crafting component? Generate. So in here, this should be clearing the array. Definitely should be clearing it. So let's see on mine if it's in there or if it's in the actual, the widget reference is the one doing it. So generate slots is clearing. Yes, generate craft slots is, it's clearing the craft slots, is clearing the children, but it is not clearing the slots. Let me see. So if we go over to our, oh my god, where is it? Inventory. Right, so I've cleared the slots, but what I haven't cleared is the children of the crafting slots. So you need to clear children here as well. Okay, so clear the children. That should look a lot more like this now. And inventory crafting, so you will need to do it on that other widget, which is this one. Obviously once you've got this right, you can copy and paste and you'll not have to do this again. And this is the crafting slots, and you need to clear compile, save, and you should be good to go. That is everything done. Are we on for a winner? Crafting, yes, 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 and let's try it, I suppose. I'm nervous. Oh, I'm only picking up one apple at a time. Oh no. So, so there's nothing in the inventory. If you well, I'm going to split this up so I can, the undragged, that undragged thing, that is coded properly. You just need to refresh it and then it works. I think it's when you change too much it fucking goes into panic mode. So we're dropping in, it's showing 2 apples out of 35. So let's shift tab in. We've now got 5 out of 5. So that is showing correct. Now it's that update which I did the hotfix for on the Patreon. So let's see, can I remember what we've got to do? Yes, I do know what we've got to do. We've got to go to our content, blueprints, whatever. In the inventory component, you do need to add a section in here, so update all slots. So go to update all slots, and remember this component, is it valid? Yes, well it is now. So now you can call update the craft slots with the F, because you want the one with the function. And I think that is it. You are up to date. So that's at 3 hours. That wasn't bad, 3 episodes. And we can show you that working now. I can't remember what we needed. Was it 5 apples or something? Obviously change the amount on the ground, so when you're picking up, you haven't got to pick hundreds up. So crafting 5 apples, so I should be able to just tab over and it's done. And then obviously if I tab out, it's updated, tab in, and then if I right click, you can craft. If you want that in the middle of the screen, just set it in the thing. I'll do that in a second. So let's try 100. So 10 has worked. Cancel. Let's see. So we should only be able to make 1. It's defaulting to 0. Can we go up? So that's working. So this default needs to be 1. If I hit craft, it's gives me an apple. Yeah, so is that removing them properly? It's a bad craft item, to be fair. 1 apple gives you. Let's add an item. So not there. Enums. So we can just show you how easy this is now as well. Item type. I'm gonna hit new. I'm gonna go water melon half. We're going to save, we're going to jump out of here, we're going to hit play, so it compiles everything at the same time. Now you can jump out and hit save all. This is the worst chair, it's killing my back. So now if we go into here and the recipes, so let's add a recipe, just go the blue one, and let's go to watermelon half. Crafting table, amount 1 watermelon, and this is what it's giving out. Okay, this is what it's crafting. In case you were a little bit confused there, and you probably can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Oh yes, you can. You're on that side. Hit play. In here, crafting watermelon half. We need 1 watermelon. So let's just do this, make sure everything's working. So tab over, I've got 1 watermelon. So if I craft, fail to add item, check BP master. So we have forgotten something. So it's failing to add an item. So let's see. That was in the crafting component on craft item. So why have you failed? Make sure that's on always spawn. possible cause is not set array element. I think we have. Remove multiple items. That is all done properly. Yes, to be honest, I think it's the craft widget causing us a problem here. So let's go and check that. It's definitely this causing us grief. The amount, set that to 1 by default, so that'll stop being a 0. If it's more than that, set to the max craft amount. Max craft amount is there. Let's see, what else have we got? What creates this? While we're here, if you wanted to put that in the middle of the screen, move the border. So what would you do? You'd anchor it to the center and just 0 that out and put 0.5. That'll do that for you. So what creates this is on mouse button down is creating this. So let's find that. On mouse button down, just getting the information. The craft slot is handling the max item amount, so requirement check. That's doing that. Is item craftable? Yes. Find max crafting amount. That is all done. That's exactly what I've got, so that's fine. And that's obviously working, so I don't see why there's a fucking problem. I might have to pause the video. Pardon me. Tab that over. That is crafting. See, when I press commit, I can type in 10. Yes. I shouldn't be able to type in 10. So that's failing. Craft 1. Check the BP master pickup. Possible causes not set array element. Ah, yes. Possible causes we have not set the array element. So I'm not reading my own errors. So I'll make that more clear. Check the BP fucking thing. Yes, of course, BP master pickup. We haven't set the array. And it was telling us what the error was. Can you believe that? Ah, fucking hell. Watermelon half. So I've got an error telling me what the problem is, and I don't see why it's not working. Fucking hell. Right. Yes. Amount. Let's give us 2. Juicy. In fact, I'm not going to bother fucking writing that. Do they stack? Max stack. 2s. You could do 4s, something like that. Yes, that should all be working now. Compile, save. Fucking hell, man. How did I not even pick up on that? My own error was like telling me what I needed to do. Right, crafting. Take that over. Compile. We can still write 10 in here, so I need to change that. So craft. Inventory. It's given me 2 melons, but it hasn't removed that one. So something's gone on there, so we'll fix that one in a minute, but it has give us the watermelons. And then I can drag that into my inventory, can I not? I can alt click it. So on drop onto the crafting. All right, you know why I can't drop there is because I am using or if you go to inventory on drop, or should I say the item slot blueprints. I know there's a lot of debugging at the end of this video, but I'll be trying to edit it for hours, so just keep up with it. Keep going. So in this inventory slot, if you go to on drop, we have not connected these ones. So basically what do we want to do? So if it's the same as itself, don't worry, because it's a storage slot, you can't move around. It's going to be a crafting slot, but they are item infos. So basically what we're going to do is let's grab what we can here, and we could probably collapse these, but for now, if I just test it, so crafting needs to come into here, and this needs to be a crafting slot, and is that it? Yeah, I think so. So now we should be able to if I drop this in, I can drag it back. Yes. So that's all that problem was. The other problem was the removal. So let's see why on craft item, we are not calling. So after destroy, you need to remove multiple items, and the craft item info is the local craft item info. Obviously we need to remove them after we've crafted it, and that should be all the problems done. Final test. Just grab some stuff. Oops. Crafting, watermelon, let's see, 3 watermelons, yes, it gives us 3, inventory 3, crafting, right click, craft 1, inventory, I've now got 2 and 2 halves. Let's craft 2, which is the maximum, craft, that's gone red, I've got none left, I should have 6 halves, which is 2 plus 2, 6 halves. You need to wrap the text on there. So the last problem is the is there nothing else I can craft? Let's get some more watermelons. There's one over there as well. Stick these in here. The only thing left is the fact that I can overcraft, but if I try to overcraft, it will work as well. Yeah, so yes, so we need to fix the maximum so no one can cheat, and that is definitely it. So let's close some of these down, because this is in the craft options. So on text committed is the committed amount more than the max craft amount, which is 0. So let's check. Let's do event. I think I had to do this the last time as well. Event construct. I did have to do this. Print a string here. You're just gonna have to hang on. Watch me debug it. So, right, watermelons. Okay, so let's see. So it costs 1 watermelon. So if I put that in, so on Alt, it hasn't updated. It still hasn't updated. Watermelons. They're fucking medkits, right? Okay, sorry. I thought that was something else. So I've got 5 watermelons. Now, if I right click, max stack is 5, so that is correct. If I type 10, click enter. Right, okay, so it is not a massive error because the code is right. I've just done this wrong, of course. So I'm setting the amount to that, but I also need to set the text as well. So set text, editable text to the amount. That's all that was. So I do apologise for that one. That was an obvious mistake by me. Schoolboy error, as we would say. And final test, watermelon, 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 watermelon. Are they medkits? Yeah, they're medkits at the back. Transfer them over. Yes. Now if I type in 10, it'll go no, you can only make 5. Can I make less than 1? No. Can I make 0? Yes, I can make 0. Craft, suppose nothing will happen. I've still got my 5, so that was pointless. But you haven't got an error, which is good. Now if I can still split, because we're using the inventory component, so everything's done. So you don't need to do anything. You can move around, restack, and drag back over. So if I land on the inventory, I can't add it. If I land on a slot, I can add it. So if I want to land on the inventory widget, that would be in here on drop. So have I fixed this in the other one? I suppose it's not a problem. It just means there's a little bit more work to do on drop. Let's have a quick look. Did I do anything? Yes, I have actually. I have done something. Is second inventory valid? So let's make sure this is the same. Is that valid? Yes, if it's not, do that. And then I have told the second inventory to pick up item. If that's false, remove item from slot. Yes, there is a bit more work to do in there to get this to work. This needs to look more like the item slot, okay? Can you not just copy and paste the item slot? I suppose you could, couldn't you? Basically, that just needs to be identical to that, in theory. I hope I'm not fucking up here. Put that behind there so you know where it is. Create local variable, create local variable, create local variable, create local variable, and I'm sure there's going to be returns. No, that's fine. Item info. Yeah, see, there's no item info, is there? So, dragged item info. Basically, if it is a player slot, yes, I know, sorry, I've gone quiet. Basically, if it's a player slot, you want to, let's copy this, drag this up. If your dragged item is a player slot, you probably want to add, remove it from the second inventory and do it that, right? So if it's a player slot, do that. Okay, if it's a storage slot, do the opposite to that. Yes, you don't need any of this. Don't need any of it. You just need this. If it's a storage slot, add it to the player. If it's closed, add it to the player. So if it's anything but the player, do this. If it is a player, do the opposite. That's it. That should be how it looks. Okay. Now if I pick up an item, oops, miss, pick up an item, put it in the storage. Yes, it's a crafting. Move it around, drop it onto the inventory. It adds and it sets it to a player. Right, done. There you go. So that is everything up to date, running, plus a couple of extra features. I bet this has gone over. Yes, this has gone well over. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Like I said, that is the end of season 2 already. The crafting system is working. So now we can craft items. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bunch. I'm going to add some wood, some stone, whatever. We won't gather. We'll not do resource gathering. We'll do that at the end with some NPCs and weapons and attachment and animation. We want the functionality of it to work. So what we'll do next is the crafting system, but we'll just put the resources on the ground. What I might do is I might try and find some free assets, and I might do a video of how to get them, and then we can add them to this project to make it look, not that it needs to look good, it just needs to be easier for us to test. So we need to know what's wood, what's stone, what's metal, what's an ingot, what's a forge, what's a crafting table, so all that sort of stuff. I'm going to see if we can get that set up for the next one, and then we'll do the building system in season 3. Okay, so I will see you there, and don't forget, subscribe, like the video, click the bell, and links in the Patreon. You will probably get this full package is on there, and you'll probably get season 3 a lot sooner than it's made on YouTube. Alright, so because I'll make the package and I'll put it onto the Patreon so everyone can have it straight away, and then of course you've got to wait for me to do the videos of showing you how to build it if you don't. So that's all the information, and I will see you in the next one. Sure.